What if you had to negotiate with world leaders, manage high-stake diplomatic situations, and communicate complex policies to the public? Today, we're breaking down 5 powerful communication lessons from someone who's done it all. Dr. Susan Rice, who is a former UN ambassador and national security advisor. Her experience spans from the United Nations to the White House, and her insights on communication are invaluable for anyone looking to improve their leadership and interpersonal skills. Lesson number 1, the power of direct communication. In a world of diplomatic doublespeak, Susan Rice stands out for her direct approach. She believes in shooting straight and avoiding passive-aggressive behavior. As she puts it, what they see is what they get. This directness isn't just about being blunt, it's about building trust. When people know you'll be honest with them, whether it's positive feedback or constructive criticism, they're more likely to trust and respect your leadership. She explains, if somebody is doing particularly well, I want to reinforce that and encourage it. If somebody is screwing up, I'll sit them down and explain what they are doing wrong, what the expectations are, and what I think they need to do better. This approach might seem intimidating, but Rice emphasizes the importance of delivering feedback with patience and kindness, especially in the first instances. However, she's not afraid to be more forceful if there's no effort at improvement. This balance of directness and empathy is what makes her communication style so effective. Lesson number 2, the art of negotiation. Here's what might surprise you. Rice actually loves negotiating, and her enthusiasm for it comes from seeing it as a complex puzzle to solve. During her time at the UN, she regularly negotiated with representatives from China, Russia, and other nations on critical Security Council resolutions. Her approach breaks down into 3 key elements. Know your bottom lines, be crystal clear about what you must achieve, understand the other side's motivations, take time to learn what drives their positions, and look for common ground, areas where interests might align. But here's the real secret. She doesn't try to be slippery or evasive. Instead, she uses directness as a strategic advantage. As she explains, being direct in negotiations actually works much better than being somebody who's perceived as slippery, elusive, or untrustworthy. What makes negotiation exciting for her? It's the combination of skills required, intellect, strategy, humor, and charm. Plus, there's the tangible satisfaction of reaching an agreement that seemed impossible at first. Lesson number 3, authentic communication. One of the most powerful lessons from Rice's experience comes from standing out in rooms where she was often the only woman or person of color. Her father, who broke barriers as a PhD economist in 1950s, taught her something profound. If my being black is going to be a problem, it's going to be a problem for somebody else and not for me. This lesson goes beyond race or gender. It's about maintaining your authenticity in any situation where you might feel like an outsider. Rice explains that she could have spent time being anxious about being different or trying to trim her sails to fit in. Instead, she learned that such adaptations aren't just inauthentic, they're actually counterproductive. Because when you're trying to be something you're not, you're bringing your best self to the table. You're using energy to maintain a facade that could have been better spent on actual work and meaningful connections. Lesson number 4, the 3 ingredients of effective communication. Clarity. This means avoiding convoluted or flowery language. Rice emphasizes that clear communication isn't about showing off your vocabulary or expertise. It's about ensuring your message is understood. As she demonstrates in her own speaking style, you can be sophisticated without being complicated. Number 2, concision. While acknowledging that no one is perfect at this, Rice stresses the importance of saying what needs to be said without unnecessary elaboration. This doesn't mean being brief at the expense of clarity, but rather being intentional with your words. Number 3, structure. This is about having a clear framework for your message. Rice explains that this means giving thought to what you're trying to say and the key points you need to get across. A structured message helps prevent meandering and keeps both speaker and audience focused. These 3 elements work together as structure supports clarity, clarity enables concision, and concision reinforces structure. Lesson number 5, bridging personal differences. Perhaps the most personal and powerful lesson comes from Rice's relationship with her son, Jake. Despite their close relationship, they found themselves on opposite ends of the political spectrum. While she served in the Obama administration, her son became president of the Stanford College Republicans and brought conservative speakers to campus. Instead of letting these differences create a divide, Rice approached this challenge with several key strategies: respecting the courage of conviction even when disagreeing with the positions, prioritizing their relationship over political debates, choosing carefully when to engage in difficult discussions. This approach extends far beyond family dynamics. In professional settings, we often face similar challenges, working with people who have different viewpoints, backgrounds, or approaches. Let's wrap up with this one final thought from Ambassador Rice's experience. Great communication isn't about being the loudest or most eloquent person in the room. It's about being clear, authentic, and purposeful in how you connect with others. Remember that effective communication is direct without being harsh, structured without being rigid, authentic without being unprofessional, and clear without being oversimplified. If you found these insights valuable, please hit the subscribe button and comment down below what you thought. I make these videos once or twice a week. See you next video.